Hey familia, I hope everyone is doing well, especially in these crazy times. I'm filming this on St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2020. Feel like we're kind of really in the thick of, shutting down for sake of not spreading the coronavirus. And I'm here in my studio, been working a lot on music, and I thought what better song to look at than Chaos, right? Because I feel we're all kind of feeling a little bit of that chaos right now. All right, so let's take a look at Chaos. One of the first songs I ever heard from Math, as it was, the initial name of MUTEMATH that Paul Meany and Darren King started this project. It was in 2003 that I first heard of them. Paul and I had been in a band before called Earthsuit, and I was still talking with them, and I actually played a few shows with them before they were even officially MUTEMATH, and they were still Math. So I first heard this song, I want to say probably when they had already recorded the first EP, which I believe Jonathan Allen, aka B-Phase, who also played in the band at the time, and then replaced me on various shows in the last tour. He played on the record, I believe, and I saw some live stuff that they were doing, and he was playing the song. I can't remember if I played this song early on or not, if it was one of those first demos, but anyway, it was definitely one of the first songs with such a great bass line that I was floored by and was really inspired by what Paul and Darren were doing. So to clarify, this bass line was not written by me. This bass line was written by Paul. And Paul always had a great ear for bass lines. I can remember back in Earthsuit days, he wrote one of my favorite bass lines that we recorded for a song called Lady Wisdom, which was very inspired by the Police, as I believe Chaos was very inspired by the Police. It just has this very melodic line. It's rhythmic. It flows in such cool ways. Thank you, Paul, for writing this. I loved playing it live. I loved recording it, which I did record on the debut record. I didn't record it with this bass. I recorded it with a gorgeous 73 Telecaster bass, Fender Telecaster bass, that had this huge humbucker pickup in the front, near the neck. And it just had this huge fat sound. It was great for recording. We tried to take it out live, and I played it at a few shows, and it just didn't quite translate as well as the P bass or the T40 live. Let's dive into the bass line and see the mechanics of it. For the Chaos bass line, you kind of have this main riff, really. I mean, it's just, the way I always looked at it was you have A flat as your first note to the E flat, so you have the 1-5, right? And then you go up to the minor third of A flat, and play the 1 and the 5 of that too, right? So, right, so that's the first part. So I'm thinking in fifths right here, just like power chord kind of stuff. And then you have this last little octave riff that goes from the D flat, or the 11 of the D string, down to the 9th of the E string, right? Back to the B, excuse me, right before it. So maybe you can break it up in those three sections. This, 2, and then the last one. So here it is a little slower. And the song is at 180 BPM, so it's pretty fast. And I just got used to playing that figure over and over again. And I remember recording it with the telly bass. We might have recorded it a few times. I remember that first record, there was a couple of different things. I don't even know what drums were officially used, because I know Paul and Darren recorded those drums a couple of times before they got the sound that they wanted, which, by the way, in my opinion, that's some of the best MUTEMATH drum sounds I think we've gotten. It's such the snare drum is so perfect on that song. So I would play that part with my fingers, right? And then I would normally live, this wasn't right at the beginning, but live I would switch to a pick for the chorus section, which kind of ramped up into this more straight ahead rock. So you had this 3, 4. And some occasions I would play it live with a pick. And I started to develop it a little bit more, where I would slide into the first little lick. And then add this little ghost note thing. Which I would try not to overdo that too much, because I still like the space, and I think that was one of the coolest things about this bass line, was it had a lot of space and it had a lot of melody. And it went with the groove of the drums so well too. All right, so then you have this little pre-chorus that's basically just diamonds, where you're going down to that B, the low B. And this was really cool. I remember Paul showing me this. Going up to this high E flat, or D sharp, I guess. And it's just kind of outlining that chord, which I guess is a B major chord. So, and then to an F sharp. And right there, it just kind of starts to ramp up, right, to the chorus. So again, that little pre-chorus, just out of the verse. And then getting to the chorus, we have A, F sharp to C sharp, if you want to look at it that way. So just straight eighths. And every now and then I would change up when I would go to the different octaves. I would go up to this high A, to this F sharp, to this C sharp, or even sometimes up here to ramp up energy depending on where we were and how things are feeling. I would change it night from night. And on the recording, I was just feeling really what was happening. So again, so we got that. Remember the punk aesthetic really came out on me in this one, where I'm trying not to do up and downs, trying to do all downs with like a really aggressive style, which is why I went to the pick eventually live, just to feel that a little bit more. I can't remember if I recorded. I don't think I recorded it with a pick. So you have that movement, and then over the years live, I would just add little in between passing tones. So I would do like stuff like, chord, which I thought was weird maybe years ago before doing a power chord like that on the bass, but it really pushed it to this new energy level. And it's also something for the control bass line that I would do. So just you know, feeling the song, feeling what the song needed, the energy behind us playing it live, all those little things I would change from night to night. And try not to overdo, trying to be musical about it, and try to support the energy that was happening in the live moment. But it was always fun just playing those. So right there, I'd always think kind of like this C sharp pentatonic. That's really the song in a nutshell. It's those three little parts, really focusing on that main riff and that transition where you just kind of really lay low and then try to ramp up in that chorus. I used the telly. I used I want to say it was just a standard SVT in addition on the amp side of things that was broken up. I remember Ted T. I was pushing it a lot, and I didn't have any kind of pedal or anything. I was just trying to get some gain from the amp. And for a lot of those SVTs, you can gain them up pretty nice where they break up depending on, I guess, the year or something. But this one broke up pretty nicely. I remember he asking me, push it more, you know? Mic-wise, I don't remember what was on it. Maybe RE20. I don't know if we used something else, but anyway, it's a nice bass sound as well. I'm really happy when I listen back to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and little backstory on Chaos. Again, I hope everyone's doing well, staying safe, staying healthy, and see you around.